All right, hey everybody, welcome to the Great American Farm Tour number 6. We got a really awesome video for you today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Heifer USA. I am so happy to be here in North Carolina with Josh Draper himself, the Stoney Ridge farmer. Josh, how you doing?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Super cool show for you guys today. Stick around, we got a lot of content to cover in this video. Josh has got a really awesome farm here. As you can see, we're joined by some of his farm companions. We're going to be talking a lot about raising cattle today in this video and Josh's journey into farming, into homesteading, transforming and regenerating his property here over the last several years. We're going to be talking about infrastructure, equipment, pumps, fences, answering your questions along the way for our live audience, answering the questions down in the comments below for anybody else who's watching after this is over. So much to cover that you won't want to miss. Stick around until the end of this video to see, hopefully, if we have time, Josh's new mega shop that he's built for lots of really cool content creation. If you don't know who Josh Draper is, you've probably been sleeping under a rock, because you just need to go check him out. His channel is the Stoney Ridge Farmer right here on YouTube and on Facebook, Instagram, and his website. Josh produces some of the best content out there about raising cattle, starting a farm, living off your land. He's one heck of a guy. He's been super generous to invite us out here and show us around on his property, to show you around live, hang out with his cows. They're really nice too. So check him out. We got links in the description for all of Josh's channels, the Stoney Ridge Farmer. He's got so much content out there. You should definitely check it out. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't already, and you will be thoroughly entertained and educated at the same time. So with that being said, we got a lot to cover. We're gonna jump right into talking about Josh's property, his farm, these cows, and I'm just gonna turn it over to him to get this video started. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Mr. Draper, Stoney Ridge Farmer himself, for inviting us out to your place here in beautiful North Carolina on this chilly November afternoon.
It is chilly. Is it November already? Ugh, it's hard to believe. So, feeding hay in November. You know what's really hard for me to do? Is watch you talk without talking. I'm so used to being on camera. It's always la, 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 la. So guys, we're out here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I'm on a 150 acre first generation farm here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. And I moved here after a long experience with an urban farm that I had in the city of Greensboro, North Carolina. Really enjoy that kind of thing. I found that I was missing something by not having my hands in the soil, and I took it to the next level. So we've got two sides of the farm. This is a 60 acre tract over here. What you see where the cows are is brand new pasture that was just cleared about 4 or 5 years ago. And we're regenerating the land with cow manure, with rolling out hay bales, and you'll see that here in just a little bit. The cow herd currently is around 33 cows, and we've got Tammy, the donkey. She's the star of the show. And Tammy is our guard donkey. She looks after the babies and makes sure that the predators like coyotes or bobcats don't get to our young calves. We've got some young calves, you'll see them, and what we're getting ready to do is we're moving the cows across a public roadway right here. And you're just going to see how calm and how organized this really is. The cows get moved on the farm every 12 hours. We move every 12 hours. We got one neighbor, and I knew every time I move the cows, he's going to come through. Let me let him know. Hey, bud. Hey, are you coming back?
No, you good.
Okay, good. We're going to move them. See you, man. Great neighbors, man. I can't say how nice it is to live here in North Carolina. Girls, you gotta be patient. I think we need to get right into moving the cows. We'll talk more about this after.
I think they're ready. Let's do it.
All right, so what you're gonna see here is I'm gonna hook up some polyelectric wire. This won't be electrified. The cows, it's a psychological barrier for the cows, and we'll make a lane to run the cows right across the road here. They're going to go into a pasture over here that has a little bit of grass. It's winter time almost, so we've got sparse grass right now. So we'll actually be rolling a bale of hay out on the land up here too. Again, what we're doing is regenerative farming without a lot of outside input, no chemical fertilizers whatsoever. These cows don't get wormed because they don't eat beside their own feces, and that's what it's all about. So keeping the cows moving every 12 hours and keeping them from eating right beside their own feces. So we're moving, mobbing, mowing. They eat 1/3, leave 1/3, and trample 1/3, and we're gonna get them over here.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get them moving.
So I've got a few pieces of fence wire to move right quick.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here and say hi to our audience real quick.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, what questions you might have for Josh as we're doing this video for you today, whether it's about country living, raising cows, regenerating your land. He is a wealth of knowledge, and be happy to take some of your questions along the way. I want to say hey real quick to Surinder Sarwa, says just whistle please. Thanks for watching, Surinder. Kennedy Reynolds all the way in Central Arkansas, Becky Lewis out in Dixon, Tennessee, Dwight Henderson. Thanks so much for waiting all day for this one, Dwight. We're so glad that all of you guys could be here with us today. We got a lot of stuff to show you in this video, getting started right off the gate, right out the gate, literally, with moving the cattle into a fresh pasture, fresh paddock right over there, which is where we're going to head to next. We got some cool stuff set up over there that we're going to demo for you, that we're going to talk about. We're going to get up close and personal to the forage, talk about what Josh has been doing here on his property to regenerate the land, because that's really what it's all about, and he's been doing a great job in just a few short years. It is November, it is the colder season, things aren't quite growing, you know, super fast like they would in the summertime, but you'll see a big transformation, you'll see a big difference going on. We're going to unroll some hay, we're going to move some cows, we're going to talk about infrastructure and equipment. Stick around, mega shop at the end, don't forget.
Cow hugs right now. Big hugs, guys. You ready to move? Are you ready? Woo! It's my cow song.
That one's ready.
All right. They're going to go fast, man. Woo, babies. Come on. Let's go. Get it, girls. Woo! Get up, girls. Go ahead, girls. Let's get it. Come on. Woo! The real cattle drive. Come on, girls. There's more grass, I promise. Woo! Tammy always brings up the rear. Come on.
Oh, look at her. She's herding them.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
She herded them right on in?
She did.
Nice.
Way to go, Tammy.
Woo!
Doing a great job.
Come on, girls. Now, you need to get out of the road. Cows on the road are no good.
Come on.
I told you guys, no pooping. Okay, okie dokie. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. There you go. Go ahead. All right, one more coming. If you might have to get out of that lane. There you go, you got it. They're a little standoffish around strangers. There we go.
I gotta hide from the
There we
straggler
go.
cow.
213.
She's a little scared.
Get on over there.
There they go
Right.
into their fresh paddock. There's Tammy.
That is a cattle drive. 213's a little spooked by you.
There you go. Don't be scared.
Might have to walk up on 213 back there. She's got.
Yeah, that's fine.
She seems to have a little confusion going on there. All right.
So you said you moved them roughly every 12 hours? Is that
Every
what you shoot
12,
for?
yeah. So
Awesome.
we're moving cows twice a day. In the wintertime, I can get away with moving them once a day when I'm feeding hay. We'll start transitioning over to the winter grazing program pretty soon as the forage starts to fade away a little bit here. We'll go ahead on up in the pasture. I'll pull this gate shut.
Sounds good. I'm going to jump in here and get a question from our live audience. Thank you guys again for watching and tuning in today for the live broadcast. The Vault, Ohio asked if you breed your own cows.
Well, typically the bull does all the breeding on the farm, but I'm just kidding.
I got you.
Yeah, we do totally breed. These are all brood cows, and I think there are 5 steers in here. So the steers will be used for beef. The brood cows will be used for raising more brood. In other words, increasing our numbers. We're working on building grass genetics here on the farm. So we are raising animals that thrive on grass. And that's the main thing here. So all cows don't thrive on grass. And it's really important to know. We've had to cull a few cows because they just didn't thrive. They didn't gain weight like these animals do, and they didn't do as well. Some of these calves they've never seen grain. That none of them, all the calves from this year, none of them have ever seen grain, ever. So it's all about grasses, and multi-species pasture here. So you won't see just one type of grass. Where we're standing last year at this time was bare ground. There was no grass here. No seed was put down. No fertilizer was put down. Nothing.
So just a year ago, this is bare ground?
Just a year ago. I've got pictures of a rainstorm we had.
How it's looking now.
Yep. And it's not the best in
but
the
for
world.
1 year, that's impressive.
For 1 year, it is. I'm going to roll out this hay bale real quick and give these girls something to munch on.
Because this is part of how you've helped restore this land, right?
This is absolutely how we restored this land. So what this is, if you look right here, this ground is hard, okay? There is no topsoil here in the Piedmont region, foothills region of North Carolina. There's just no topsoil. That's why everybody moved out west, so they could find that 6-foot deep topsoil in Missouri. We don't have it here, and the reason we don't have it is because these farms have been over-farmed with tobacco growth. So tobacco growth is really intensive, exposed soil, right? So we're sterilizing our soils with the tobacco growth. There's no weeds, no nothing growing in there. So that's why we have no topsoil whatsoever. And you can see there's sparse areas up here. And as we get up next to the waters, you'll see better and better forage. This is 10 times better than it was a year ago. I can't wait till 5 years from now. It's going to be really great.
Well, hopefully we get a chance to come back and do a round 2 and see how it looks.
Always a pleasure to have Heifer USA up in here.
I appreciate that.
It'll be a good time.
So yeah, tell me about this.
Net wrap bale. I go into the net wrap with very lightly cutting our net wrap with our knife here. Always got to have a knife with you. On the farm, always got to have a hat with you on the farm in case a bug gets after you, bees get after you. That's what my dad always said. And you need a handkerchief is what Dad says too, but I don't carry the handkerchief. I can't put snot back in my pocket, man. It's not in my bag. But so this is forage. This is pretty high quality hay. This was cut this spring. This is a lot of fescue in here. And what you have to think about, like I said, no grass seed was put out on this. So what you really have to think about is this is not only a carbon bank, it is a food bank, and it's a seed bank. So it's totally full of grass seed. We'll grab some. People say, well, why don't you store your hay in a shed? For thousands and thousands of years, humanity has relied on thatch for roofing material to keep water out. So you look right here, I mean, we're only down into it, what, a ½ an inch? And right there, we're right into our fescue. Our cool season grasses are right in there, okay? So we're just in it, a ½ inch. This is the basis of life. This is the building block of life. This is carbon, and that's what we're feeding to the land, feeding to the cows. And what comes out the back end of that cow is more carbon and nitrogen in the form of urine. So we'll go ahead and pull the wrap off of this. Net wrap bales work the best. This is called a Greg Judy bale enroller. A really good friend of mine and kind of a mentor of mine, Greg Judy, introduced this bale enroller to pull behind your ATV. It rained 3/4 of an inch 2 days ago. If you came out here and put this 1,000-pound bale on an 8,000-pound tractor in this pasture, you're going to get ruts. Those ruts do not heal for years and years. I'm talking 15, 20 years ruts will be in this field. What you're doing is you're killing your microbial life in your soil by making those ruts. So we use low infrastructure, low impact, lightweight machines.
Awesome. Yeah, and we're going to demo this for you guys and show you how he unrolls this. And if you want to know more about the Greg Judy bale unroller, check out our video on our channel. That's all about the Greg Judy bale unroller. I'm pretty sure that's what the video is called, and you can find out even more information about this. So Josh has got one geared up for us though, and you'll see.
Yep. So now it's going to flop back, and you'll see it flop back. Sometimes I'll hook to it the right way, sometimes I'll hook to it the wrong way. But what we want it to do is not unroll the exact way it rolled in. We want it to actually unroll in a longer amount of time. So there are tufts of hay all over the pasture, which means there's tufts of grass seed all over the pasture. We're on a hill. Think about it. Concentrate your nutrient on the hill. The rain will wash the nutrient down the hill. So that's why we're concentrating on this area, so that the rain washes nutrient downhill, grass seed downhill, and therefore we get better grass down that way.
Cool. Awesome.
All right, contact. So you'll see this flop back. There it is. Woo! Come on, girl. Woo! Come on. Woo! Woo! Come on, girls. Get that grass. Woo! Come on, girls. Girl. Now, that is painting the land with hay. That's awesome.
Yeah, you did a beautiful job. I think you could frame that one.
Be a little loud here for a second. There we go. Crank this back up and be prepped for the next bale. And
nice.
The next bale will go on. I probably won't even have to feed them any hay tomorrow, because we're getting into better forage up here than we had on the other side. If we get over here, you can see, I think of them as dollar bills, manure pats. Watch this. You don't see a lot of people picking up poop, do you? This is what we're after, guys. This is what we're after. See the root structure already starting to build in that manure pat? That's what we want. So over time, these animals will use the bathroom. The manure comes out the back, the urine comes out of the back, and it's pH neutral, or nearly pH neutral, which in turn helps to stimulate grass growth. Even the saliva from the cow helps stimulate the grass to grow. You want to go up and check out the waterers?
Yeah, let's show one thing too also. This one's demonstrating something else that these cattle are doing by stomping this hay into the ground, right?
Yep.
That's a big part of it too, is you got, you know, how heavy do these cows weigh, you think?
That's probably about a 550 pounder, 500, 550.
So you got quite a bit of weight that's working that soil. I mean, if you look closely enough, I could probably show folks.
Yeah, you can see divots
and
in
show
the soil.
a little divot. It's not a rut, but they're massaging that ground.
Right.
They're working that back in, and that's a part of it too, right?
Well, so we call that a pug mark. Okay, so there are pug marks all over the farm. That field that we were just in is loaded with pug marks. Okay. Ooh, pug marks. You're going to make a mud hole out of your farm with pug marks, right? No, sir. What we're making is miniature ponds this big that are scattered all over that hillside. So when I first cleared the land here on this hillside, water would roll off that hill and flood the road. Now, with the pug marks, it holds that moisture, and instead of the water leaving your farm and going downstream and eroding away soil, we got pug marks that are holding the water on the land, and we don't have floods like we did before. It's amazing. It's just the cows that are doing that.
Yeah, it's very cool being able to retain that water. So, yeah, that was a question from Kennedy Reynolds. She had asked about what happens when the cattle step on the hay. Just real quick, I asked one more question from our audience here. Where was it? It was Becky Lewis. Becky, thanks for watching today. Becky asked about what breed your cows are.
These are all Black Angus beef cows.
Awesome.
Yep. We are going to integrate some grass genetics in with the South Pole cattle. They're more conducive to grass. They do better on grass. Let's flip this manure pad over. This is a good one right here.
Yeah.
So look, inside that manure pad, there's already legumes popping out right there. Little plants popping out. We're going to tip this over. Look in here. Oh, daddy. Look at that.
It's looking good.
Yeah, look at the root structure building in there. Right here, fungus. Fungus is important. When there's fungus among us, we know our land is healing. Flip it over. Underneath, root structure, worms, all sorts of awesomeness. This doesn't stink. This is the lifeblood of the farm right here. That's it. Let's scatter it out.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Now, in the spring and summer months, we don't scatter the manure. We let the cows do the job. This coming spring, we'll have 200 chickens out here in little egg mobiles that will go around for pasture sanitation. So what you just saw in that manure pat will be scratched through with chickens and spread out upon the land, and that will help to spread the nutrient out on the soil, thus building that blanket of carbon that we want all over our soil.
Nice, yeah. And if you guys aren't raising pastured poultry, you can also use what's called a drag harrow, right? To do kind of the same thing.
That's what we'll do in the wintertime now. I've got a 16-foot batwing drag harrow that I put out here, and after the cows move off of this paddock, we'll come back in and we'll scatter the manure. They'll be back over here in 2 weeks, and you will not see a trace of manure. It'll all be settled down into the land.
Matthew McDonald said it looked like you were having too much fun unrolling that bale of hay. Is it fun?
Dude, yes. All of this is fun. This is why I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. I mean, can you wake up? How many people can wake up every morning, besides school teachers, and make this many animals happy? You know what I mean? And kids are animals.
I got 3 of them. I know.
There you go.
Fun little animals. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a beautiful way of living. You're giving back to the earth. You're raising things with pride. It's nice what you got going on out here.
It brings joy. It just brings joy. It brings joy to the animals. It brings joy to me. It brings joy to the earthworms. It brings joy to the soil. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's because it just brings me joy. If you're farming to get rich, you're not going to get there. If you're farming for joy, you're going to get there. And then you're going to find that the income will follow, for sure.
And you've been, let's take just a quick second if you don't mind. You've been taking people along for your journey. Yep. I know I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Stoney Ridge Farmer, YouTube, Facebook, all the social media channels that you run. If you guys haven't seen Josh's videos, check out the Stoney Ridge Farmer on all those social media handles. We got the links in the description. But I want to take just a quick second to ask, about your journey. I know we could talk about this all night, but what inspired you to share your journey the way that you have?
Watching others. So much like you guys, I enjoy watching YouTube videos and I want to learn. It's just a never-ending quest for knowledge. And what I found was I was watching other people that were doing similar things to what I wanted to do, like Joel Salatin, like Greg Judy. And I just decided, I think I can do this, and I want to share it. I want to share what my struggles are and what my failures are. We lost a calf the other day to acorns. It got poisoned by eating too many acorns, and it caused it to have bloat, and it passed away within, 20 minutes. It was crazy. Education, teaching people that's something that's very, very important. In fact, that video was released this morning on my channel if you want to go over and check it out. So that's why I got into filming it, because I just thought, first thing popped in my head, people would want to know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And that's what,
well, if like I said, if you guys haven't subscribed to Josh's channel, go check it out, because if you like the content that we produce here on Heifer USA, you'll love Josh's content too. Yeah. Wealth of knowledge and really entertaining to watch along the way. So
everything too, man. I mean, anything from out here picking up cow patties to cooking brisket and making creme brulee and all what to do with leftover Taco Bell tacos.
My
mouth is watering now.
Might have to check that one.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So this is a water system right here. Believe it or not. This is called a Mirafount 3390 waterer. This is an insulated water system that is virtually freeze-proof, frost-proof. Okay, so this is an insulated water trough. It holds about 45 gallons, and this is what the cows drink out of. They go in with their noses, and this is an insulating ball. They push down, and they can access water in there. We can get it on the camera lens.
Super cool.
We didn't get it.
We're good.
But that's how the cows drink. So they push that down, they drink the water right there. Very, very simple. Keeps the mosquitoes out. We also have tire water tanks on the other side of the farm, so an awesome way to repurpose gigantic heavy equipment tires. We go in, we hollow the tire out, we pour concrete in the bottom of it, we have a float valve, and everything on the farm is fed by gravity. So the well, which is up on the hill, I think we're going to see that in just a few minutes. We've got a solar well, totally passive, no batteries. We store water, not power. So we've got underground 450 gallons of water underground on the farm. That's 1 mile of 1 1/4 inch poly pipe under the ground. Water pressure right here is 80 psi from gravity. It comes out of the well, goes to a tank, and then falls to the rest of the farm. So we have a reserve of 18 days of water for the cows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you said up to 400 gallons at a time is what you're storing?
Well, nope. So there's a 1,500 gallon tank. There's 400 gallons under the ground.
Gotcha.
And there are two 600 gallon water tanks up there. The tire water tanks.
Right.
And if we run out of water in all of those, then we've got another backup. We've got a regular well, and we can pump from the creek, and we have siphon systems in the ponds too. So
super cool. Yeah, so you guys, if you want to see that, keep watching to the end of this video. We are going to head over to the other side of the road, top of the hill, and show you that system that he's just describing. Lots more to talk about. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Ask your questions in the comments if you're watching the live version, or down below if you're watching the recorded version. We'll get to as many of those as we can. So you said it doesn't freeze, right?
Nope.
Very cool.
So don't worry about
I've
freezing.
I've not seen this one personally, so it's pretty neat. And
Works really good.
And who makes this?
Mirafount. It's a Mirafount 3390 that will service up to, I think it's 150 beef cows, and it will service up to 75 dairy cows, I do believe. Don't quote me on that.
I won't. Don't put that in the description, Kennedy. Okay, we got one quick question while we're walking over here to check out the next thing.
Yeah.
Four Season Farming says, are you collecting your manure, or are you doing anything with it in bulk?
No, not at all. The cows don't get grain. They are not pinned up into a barn or a pasture. So no, not at all. The manure stays on the land. So that's pretty much it. We don't have mud holes on the farm because the cows are ever moving. So they never are in a place long enough to make a mud hole or a manure pit. So when you drive by a farm and you look, and they've got these pins all set up, and there's no grass in them whatsoever, and there's mud, or the cows are standing in water or standing on concrete, that's not the way that I think that these animals should live. So therefore, we don't do anything other than in the wintertime, we come out here and we take a drag harrow and we drag all this manure out. So
cool.
It's all about feeding the land.
Well, that's a great question. Thank you, Four Season Farming, for asking that. Real quick too, if I can, are we going to walk over to the gate in the pond?
We can walk and talk.
Well, let me ask you about two things over here.
Okay.
So you got all the hay bales stacked up over here and outside. Now you're not covering those up. You're just leaving them outside.
Nope.
Some folks might look at that and say, "Why?"
Yeah, that's that thatch roof that we talked about. So the hay sits out here. This hay is about $47 a bale this year. It was really expensive to get hay this year, but we have the hay stationed in areas around the farm so that we don't haul hay all over everywhere. In other words, there's a lot of money tied up in material moving. When we have the material in the pasture, so that hay is for this pasture. There's another pile of hay over here for that pasture. There's another pile over there for that pasture. There's another one. There are 4 haystacks on the farm. And as we move the cattle throughout the farm, we'll take bales out one by one and unroll them all out on the farm. That is 200 bales of hay that are around 1,000 pounds a piece, so 100 tons of biomass brought to the farm. I don't cut hay off the farm. We're not ready yet. Our grass and our legumes aren't healthy enough just yet. Our soil isn't healthy enough just yet. And I think that's something that really gets neglected in our society is the health of our soil. The health of a nation is dependent upon the health of the soil.
Couldn't have said it better. I think that's awesome. And then I know you told me earlier that you have a wagon wheel design kind of going on here with your paddocks. Did you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah. We can skip the pond over here. We can talk about it real quick. I'll explain.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll just run over there real quick. We'll put it in power mall walk mode. So this pond here was built in 1961. We're getting ready to walk up on. I designed a float system out in the pond. There's a piece of PVC pipe about this long with a piece of poly pipe that's tied to it, so it floats. The inlet for the pipe floats at about 16 inches of depth, which is the cleanest water in the pond. That goes via siphon from the pond down here all the way down the edge of the creek and down to where I used to have my waterers. So the cows initially, before I put all this infrastructure in place, and the water tanks just went in this year. I trenched a mile of pipe and put it all in this year. Before that, it just siphoned from the pond. No animals can get in any waterways on this farm, and that's important to me, that the animals don't get in and destroy waterways and or spread manure out into the pond and into the waterways, and that goes downstream and has negative effects.
Awesome. Very, very clever.
Yeah, good times. We'll run up here. We got more and more. I'll get over here on this side of you so you're...
Thank you. Quick question from our audience here.
Yeah.
Evan H. asks, Josh, how old were you when you knew you wanted to farm?
About 33 is when it hit.
Yeah?
Yep. So I've kind of always been an entertainer. I used to play music in bands and such, and just always having a good time. And I realized, you know what? There was more to life than just going out and, basically hanging out in bars and restaurants. So I felt that calling back to the land between probably age 28 and 32. And that's kind of what led me to this.
Awesome. And actually, I think I wanted to ask real quick about I know we had talked earlier.
Yeah.
About how all this land here was pretty barren, right? After it was clear cut, it was nothing.
There's no piece of untouched soil fenced in on this farm, period.
Let's show folks real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Just what is different here? What's in here? Yeah.
So this is heaven for grass right here. I mean, it really is. We've got various warm season grasses in here, cool season grasses like Kentucky 31, Kentucky 32 fescue. We also have a lot of good native grasses growing in here. And we also look for legumes such as this clover. This is a medium ladino clover. Planted several clover varieties out in the pastures, and what I found is that over time, we can peek down in here, look at this. Mm-hmm. This soil is not like this. This is soil, not dirt. That's soil, not dirt. And we had dirt before. So what this does, spreading just a tiny amount of clover seed out in the pasture has really fixed, the clover takes nitrogen from the atmosphere and fixes it to the soil, which makes the grasses take off. It's just, everything has a relationship with everything else. And I think we forget that in this Burger King world of your way or right away all the time. It's not like that. Life isn't like that. Soil isn't like that. Farming isn't like that, and especially regenerative farming. So we have to think of things in seasons. And if you really want your life to feel short, think of things in the life of a tree. I mean, good gracious. So.
Well, it's super cool what you've been able to do in just a few seasons.
Yeah.
I think that's really transformational.
It's been amazing. It's been a monumental transformation for sure. So I can explain this, and it might not make sense, but we're going to try to make it make sense. This is a virtual wagon wheel right here.
I'm gonna stand up a little higher here.
Yeah. Neighbor's dogs are over there wrestling. So this is a virtual wagon wheel right here. This is an electric fence wire. When the cows move, I unhitch that and they come into the next pasture, the next paddock. It's just that easy. I open that up and I hook it back over on the other side. Just that simple. Everything on your property, on your farm, is based around your water source. We're at the water source here. There's another waterer on the other side of the field right here, and there are 3 of them on the other pasture. The cows come in here. They go in a pizza wedge shape or a pie shape. So we've got 1 piece of pie here, 2 acres, another 3-acre piece of pie, 3-acre piece of pie, 2-acre piece of pie, 1-acre piece of pie. So what we're doing, the cows literally will only be out here for 12 hours where they're at, and they'll move to the next place and the next place and the next place. And this gives the grass time to recover. So when we bring them back through, we've got the same amount of forage in much, much less time. And you guys have probably seen this. You go out and you mow your yard, and the more you mow it, the faster it grows. Same thing with the cows.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you got poly wire.
Yep.
Pigtail post.
Yep.
And then this is kind of unique. I'm not going to touch it because I'm not. It's
It's not hot.
Okay.
So this is a steel. It's called SS40 galvanized steel post from Farm Fence Solutions. My buddy Luke runs that company, and we have this is an 8-foot post drilled down in the ground to approximately 52 inches, and that supports the infrastructure for our water tank areas. Now, this will be smaller and smaller and smaller. In other words, the cows are getting large pieces of land to graze right now. I found that the tighter the piece of land that they graze, the better the recovery. So the more pressure we put on this green earth, the better it recovers, the faster it recovers. So it's just like, well, you could compare it to cutting yourself. If you had a cut on your hand, all of a sudden you got a scab on your hand, your body's regenerating itself. If you never had the cut, you'd never regenerate itself. So we're basically cutting up the land and letting nature regenerate it.
Yeah.
It works.
And you want to start walking back over that way?
Yeah.
And then we check out.
Get that ATV down to through the gate, and the gate's still open down there, by the way. So the cows are pretty well trained. They know this is good grass, and they hopefully won't push the gate open.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for sharing all your knowledge with us, Josh. This has been super awesome. We got more to show you guys. Keep watching. We got the solar pump. We're going to show you guys. We got the super shop. We're going to show you. We're going to talk a little bit more about fencing, answer some more of your questions along the way as well. Yeah, I think you put it really well about what you're trying to do for your grass and your soil. So what do we need to do now?
We're going to zip down, get the four-wheeler out of the pasture, and then we're going to hop on the Kubota, shut that other gate, and run on up and check out the water system.
Sounds perfect.
All right. If you want to ride, you can ride. If you want to walk, you can walk. It's probably about the same speed.
I just walk. I'll keep you in the shot.
There you go. Look out, ladies, coming through. Yay, let's go. Look out, Daddy's coming.
All right, I see we got some more questions coming in. I'm gonna get to those in just a second. Just gotta finish up the chores here. I'll show you guys, you can see he's using these same galvanized pipes all over the farm, high tensile wire, fencing. He's got this as back fence for a lot of the property here. It's pretty heavy duty stuff. You won't have to change that out anytime soon.
No, this is a 2-generation fence.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
At least.
Okay, we're going to engage. Our entire system is all solar. So all solar on the water, all solar controlled on our electric fences. So everything is self-contained and solar. Really cool.
Awesome. Speaking of solar, well, it's not solar, it's electric. Stop me if I'm spilling the beans, but you had a pretty cool visitor earlier today, didn't you?
We did. We had an electric tractor company come out, and we got to check out an electric tractor. Hopefully, we'll have some future endeavors with that company. Should be pretty fun. But I won't spill the beans. Check out the channel. You're going to see it on the channel very soon. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool. Electric tractor. If that piques your curiosity, subscribe to the Stoney Ridge Farmer for more information in the future. I'd never seen anything like it, and it was impressive.
No, you lucked up, man. You got here on the best day ever.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Every day is the best day ever here, man. It's awesome. So I talked to the cows. You heard me giving them the brief in-service of not to poop in the road here. Well, unfortunately, they didn't listen today again. So I'm gonna close this gate and we'll hop on the side-by-side.
And how long are you going to give? How long do you try to give your pastures to rest?
So we've got right now 62 paddocks. So 62 paddocks divided by 2 because we're moving them twice a day. So that dictates sometime around 31 days of rest. However, we are getting ready to fence in another 40 something acres up here. So we just got started, or I just got started with that fencing project. Once we get that section, we got another 30 acre section to fence in. So we're fenced right now somewhere in the neighborhood of 65 acres. Eventually we'll have somewhere in the neighborhood of 120 acres fenced, so we can double our capacity and triple the amount of rest time. And that's very, very important.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so you guys are seeing the evolution here, the journey take place, scaling infrastructure, building it out, regenerating your land. Such a cool opportunity. We're gonna zip on over to the other side of the farm and show you guys a couple more things, so stick around, more to come. Mega shop.
Yeah, how many people we got in here today?
Right now we're hanging out with about, I don't know if it's delayed, but I think we got at least 65 people hanging out with us. Thank you guys for watching. Ready?
Anybody else follow the channel? Follow my channel.
Oh yeah, we got some
fans in here?
We got some fans in here. They're answering more questions than you just about.
Are they?
Or they're answering a lot of questions, so yep.
That's awesome.
Hey to H&M Farm, Don McCall, Matthew McDonald, Dr. Knockers, Evan H., Dwight Henderson. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in and checking out the live stream today. We got a question from H&M Farm. They wanted to know if you received any USDA grants or any type of funding for your operation here.
Not at all. We can talk a little bit about that once we get up here to the water system. There's a bit of a bottleneck in that situation in my county. No.
Haven't had any access?
You know, I've got an opinion of that.
Really?
Yes, in my opinion of that, if you can't build a farm to stand on its own 2 feet without having to be subsidized by the government, it's not a successful enterprise. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's going to cost money and it's going to take time to build this. However, when somebody gives you something, in my opinion, you don't value it as much as if you did it on your own. And that's why I'm not looking at any grants or government subsidies on the farm. I just use what's here and try my best to build things. And again, as time goes on, I learn lessons and I teach those lessons on social media. So that's my thing. That's what I do. So
very cool.
We put a lot of money into the property for sure.
Oh, very cool.
So should we walk from here so we're not so loud for everybody?
Sure.
All right. There we go. So
I'm going to show folks real quick. This is the drag harrow, right?
What's that?
This is your drag harrow, right?
Yes, that's the drag harrow. The trenchers right here. Lots of infrastructure in place here, along with toys and stuff too. You want to see the? So I'm building a dry kiln right here. I've got a sawmill on the farm. Again, more and more cool Stoney Ridge Farmer stuff. I've got some lumber in this shipping container drying right now. You'll see cars and trucks, and we'll just walk around.
Sneak peek, just a sneak peek. We're going to come back here and check this out in just a minute.
Cars and trucks and wood splitters and wood chippers and tractors, and I don't know, man. I have a zest for life. All this steel is for the sawmill shed that's getting ready to go up, and you know, having a sawmill on your farm is something that's really been an integral part of building this place. Making my own fence boards, making my own lumber to build my chicken coops, being able to get pine and frame up. So this shop back here is going to be an office space and eventually potentially a barn dominium space, so I can mill up everything right off the farm and not have to have any outside infrastructure come in. So it's great.
Yeah, it's super cool. And after we talk about these couple of pieces of infrastructure up here, we're going to try to sneak out over there, show you guys some more of that stuff. So just real quick, as we're passing by, I got a tire water tank here.
Tire water tank, Joby Megaflow valve right here. This is about 600 to 650 gallons of water. Somewhere in there is a goldfish that keeps it clean. He swims around in there and gobbles up all the mosquito larvae and stuff. The weather doesn't get cold enough here where I live in North Carolina for this thing to totally freeze. Now we might get a little ice about that deep. Come up here with a hammer, pop it, chuck out the chunks. Fresh 55-degree water comes in from underneath. So.
Very nice. And I think I've seen you got a great video about building these things out too, don't you?
I've got a couple of them because when I first did it, I didn't do it right. I learned from it, just like right here around us, the infrastructure that's in place around us for the grazing operation. I've had to learn it, and there's not information out there that can teach people the things that I'm doing, and really teaching failure. People, I mean, to humble yourself in front of hundreds of thousands of people, to tell them, you know what, I failed, I did wrong. And I'm humble enough to tell people that I failed. And hopefully, you know, Grandpa used to say a wise man learns from other man's mistakes, you know, so.
Absolutely. And if you guys want to learn from Josh's mistakes and his successes for the tire water tank, the fencing, raising cattle, or turning leftover Taco Bell into, what do you say?
Deliciousness.
Into deliciousness. You should absolutely check out his channel. It's full of awesome, valuable information, entertaining content. The Stoney Ridge Farmer, all the links are down in the description. If you've just been joining us and didn't know, we're coming to you live from North Carolina with Josh Draper at the Stoney Ridge Farm, checking out his place. Thank you so much for joining us. And we got more to show you.
Yep. So solar well set up right here. This is where, so we just drove nearly half a mile across the farm right there. And that water tank is serviced by all this infrastructure on this side of the farm.
Gotcha. Now, is this going to be, is the height of this, the elevation of this part of your property, does that play into it?
Yep, so totally. So the well's here because we are on one of the highest points on the property right here. This is a solar well setup, low voltage. It's from Lawrence Solar. It's a total self-contained solar system. It does not run when the sun ain't shining, okay? So there is no battery infrastructure to keep in place here. And a lot of folks are pretty standoffish when it comes to solar infrastructure because of the battery technology that has to go into that and the waste that comes from the battery technology. So what we did in partnership with Lawrence Solar is we store water. We don't store energy, we store water. And the water has kinetic energy, which is in that tank up there.
Let's check it out.
So up here is and I'll tell you where I got it. This is a 1,500 gallon above ground water tank from Northern Tool and Equipment. This is actually buried about 3 feet into the ground, just below the frost line here. So we never have to worry. I'm going to jump over in there and show you. This is awesome. I'm proud of this.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it.
So inside here, it should be totally slap full. But inside here is 1,500 gallons of water storage. That's feeding that water our way across the farm. There it is. That is all just water pumped from the well. Beautiful. So the well never has to work any harder than pumping 40 or 50, 60 feet from there to here.
Right over there.
Yep, and then the water falls.
Fills this up. This is at high enough elevation to where gravity can just do most of the work for you.
That's it. Gravity does all the work. This is a tool that I use to turn the water on and off. This is an old roof rack that I had laying around. I just built it. Down under here, under this bucket, is a valve system, and I can go in and turn this on and off. That bucket's covering it up so no dirt goes down in there. There's one of those boo-boos where I messed up, and I learned from it.
Yeah.
So this was the first piece of infrastructure that I had to put in place before I built the rest of the water system. So,
and one thing that I noticed that you're doing here, Josh, in a lot of your context is you're adapting to your land, right? You're looking at what it has available to you, whether it be a paddock shaped in one direction, a hill in a certain area, grass in a certain place, and you're adapting to that a lot. Is that part of your, are you doing that intentionally?
Yeah, I mean, you have to, it's like the pages on a book. So here's how I explained it the other day, and it might be confusing. But you think of the soil as the pages in a book, and the soil tells you a story, and the story is from the plants that you see out on the land. Those are the words that this story is telling me. So if you look out here, you'll see some weeds, you'll see some dog fennel, you'll see some multiflora rose, you'll also see some broom sedge. That's telling me the story of the soil beneath and what the soil needs. So constantly you're reading your property and trying to figure out the best ways to go about moving the animals so that you can stimulate the growth of the plants that you want. That's it. I mean,
well said.
We can throw chemicals at it all day long. but those chemicals are a short-term solution to a long-term problem. The long-term problem is there's no topsoil, and we got to build it.
Yeah. Sounds like you're doing a great job. This is really cool. I've never seen anything like this. Thank you so much for showing us.
Heck yeah, brother.
When did you install that?
This year.
No kidding.
This season, so this March, something like that. Yeah,
Gotcha. And before that, you were relying mostly on
siphoned water from the ponds.
Yeah, like we showed earlier in the
yep,
video.
This paddock, this part of the farm right here, I pumped from my personal well for the house. I just pumped it to a tank. Just a regular old livestock tank.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've gotten the waterers, which are out there, over here, that enabled me to start this intensive grazing program, and that has really turned the farm around. Now again, we're in the fledgling stage. This is a brand new farm, a brand new place, and I think it's important that we don't just follow in the footsteps of our grandpas or our great-grandpas, you know. We just don't follow in Dad's footsteps. We have to think for ourselves and find new, intelligent, innovative, and less expensive ways to heal the land and to raise our animals. So I tell people I'm not a cattle farmer. I'm a soil farmer that makes beef, really. So,
yeah. Absolutely. Well, it looks like you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much, for showing us around your farm and sharing your farming journey with us. And thanks to all of you for watching this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. We're going to check out the mega shop.
You can see it from here if you want to. It's all good. So this shop building right here is going to be the farm office. There are 4 bay doors in there. There's going to be a butcher shop in there. Again, we're under construction. This went up in June of this year. Infrastructure issues with supply chains have got me held back. I don't have any power in there yet, but we're working through that. We're going to have to run off generator for a little bit. Power company can't even find transformers right now. So what we're doing in there will be a little butcher shop, a place to teach people. So when we start butchering hogs, I've got a video series out on old-timey Appalachian hog processing, and it teaches you how to make bacon and country hams and salted pork and all sorts of stuff. There's more than just pork chops. So all that will be set up in there. And also a music room and a place where I can just have a little fun and relax. Got 3 wood stoves going in there. It's going to be great.
Very cool. Yeah. And if you're interested in seeing that process unfold, any more of Josh's story as it continues to unfold and him regenerating the land out here, he's got a library of videos you can go back and enjoy if you haven't seen them already, and should subscribe to the Stoney Ridge Farmer on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media channels. He's really fantastic, as I hope you've been able to tell from watching this video. Thank you so much for inviting Heifer USA to come check out your place as part of the Great American Farm Tour. We're really just been an awesome experience, and grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, man.
Awesome.
For sure.
And thanks to all of you for watching the video. We will see you next time right here at Heifer USA on the Great American Farm Tour. We'll see you later.
Wait, there's something we do on my videos every time, and you got to do it. You're here.
Yeah,
so we'll see you guys next time on the Stoney Ridge. Woo!